So good morning, 19 minutes to 9 now. It's that point of the programme where we take a little look around the news to find you one or two slightly different stories. So let's begin with you, Sian. Now, what have you got for us?
Well, I've got a story from Russian farming, of all places, this morning. They have been having some trouble with their dairy herd, effectively not producing high-quality enough milk. And they found that they can reduce the cows' anxiety by fitting them with virtual reality headsets, which show a summer field simulation program. So the cows get to think that rather than being in chilly rural Russia, they're somewhere hot and sunny.
Oh, bless them. That's really sweet.
And that produces better results,
Apparently
presumably.
so, yeah. They have found that there is a link between the cow's emotional experience and its milk yield.
Well, there you go.
Who'd have thought that? That's very interesting,
That's
isn't it?
something that I haven't heard virtual reality used for yet. So there you go.
Could we do the same? Look, let's face it, looking at,
Yeah, today's a pretty good example, isn't it?
it's
Although
horrible.
they might feel the rain if they're outside. But I suppose if you're in a barn.
Yeah, that's true. Could we have them here in the studio? Because that is usually, on like tomorrow and the weekend, it's going to be lovely. Well, it's going to be very cold, but bright and sunny. But today,
I love that, though, about winter, when you have a really crisp, cold day and it's really sunny. It's just the murky, rainy, windy ones that are a bit of a pain, aren't they?
Definitely. Give me the cold any day over weather like this. So, looking forward to that tomorrow. So good on the cows then. They're doing well in Russia.
They seem to be enjoing themselves now.
I'd like them to have little headphones as well with sort of calming music or some sounds of
Could play them Ben's banger. That'd shift them
Is
on,
that
wouldn't it?
They'd all be dancing to disco. Well, my story today is quite a nice, heartwarming. It is Christmas related, so I'm sorry I keep doing this, but this is a really good deed kind of story. The Alexandra pub in London, it's in Wimbledon, is hosting a Don't Be on Your Own Day as a lovely gesture to combat loneliness on Christmas Day. So they're offering a 3-course Christmas dinner for anybody that would otherwise be spending Christmas on their own.
It's nice. Very good.
How lovely is
That's
that?
lovely.
Very good.
Not that I'm imploring many pubs and restaurants on the Isle of Man to do it. But I think that's just such a nice gesture. And loneliness is such an issue around the festive season, because it is about time for your family. And so many people, especially the older people, where their partners may have passed away over the last few years, or the families don't live near them, really, really benefit from these kinds of things. So it's a really nice story. It's a free Christmas dinner. They do it every year at the Alexandra. They do day dinners for anyone who's on their own, and it's free. No bookings, just come in. So if you're in Wimbledon, in London, on Christmas Day, that's where you need to go.
Bit of a loose end, you never know. It's good though, because I know some people actually don't mind at all sort of being on their own, but a lot of people, like you say, it is a bit of an issue, isn't it? So what a nice thing to throw open their doors.
And also in London, I think a lot of people might get their flights cancelled and things like that. Tends to happen, especially with bad weather that time of year. So if you are stuck and you can't get home or something like that, how lovely to be able to go and do something like that.
A nice social setting as well, a pub, isn't it? Not
nice
too formal, nice and chatty.
I hope they have a roaring fire on the go.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
I'm
If not, it's rubbish.
Picturing the scene now. Right, I've got an animal story as well. Have you heard of Indlovo gin?
No.
This comes from South Africa, and it's a bit of a different type of gin because it's infused with elephant dung.
Oh. I know you like your gin, Ben, but you're getting a bit extreme now.
I'm not sure whether I could go for this. The creators of this gin, Les and Paula Ansley, stumbled across the idea a year ago after learning that elephants eat a variety of fruits and flowers and yet digest less than a third of it. And they say, as a consequence, in the elephant dung you get the most amazing variety of botanicals. They've described the gin's flavour as a lovely, wooded, almost spicy, earthy taste.
Earthy.
Couldn't you just infuse it without it passing through the elephant first?
Couldn't you get the things that they're eating
and put it in the gin?
One wonders, definitely.
Take out the digestion.
This is
part.
actually a fairly easy option, isn't it? If you've got lots of elephants around, it's kind of just there, isn't it, on the floor? So they're going round collecting this. They decided to name the gin Indlovu, which means elephant in the Zulu language. And apparently this is a huge hit with tourists seeking a unique souvenir and a story to tell when they return home about the type of gin they have consumed.
This happens though, doesn't it? Because there's that really expensive coffee, which is Kopi Luwak, I think it's called. I think it's sourced in Indonesia, and it is essentially dung or poo.
Yes.
Hope you're having your cornflakes at home right now. But yeah, no, it is, and it's this most sought after really expensive coffee, and yeah, it's just made out of that. So it's not an uncommon practice, I suppose.
Seems to be the sort of thing. Would you go for that,
I
Sean?
don't know
This
if
kind
I
of gin?
would, to be honest. I think I'd probably stick with something a little more normal. I'm not sure I'd be too happy if someone brought me that back from holiday.
Well, if you didn't know,
Well, I suppose
I'd try it. I'd try
if
anything.
if you didn't know, it'd be interesting.
I'll have some.
Do you know
Dung
what?
gin.
I would give that a go, actually. I prefer lemongrass and ginger, which we're on at the moment, the old Whitley Neal there.
Very nice,
I would try that, maybe. It's an interesting one, isn't it? But a huge hit. They're making a
Yeah.
fortune out of this, apparently.
There you go. Novelty factor.